Hi, I'm Bob and this movie is a mountain of virginity. The life of a timid introvert changes dramatically after he gave a ride to a girl during a snowstorm. He just needs a giant boner to get through this fat. The film begins with the appearance of the main character, a guy named Fusi, who works as a loader at the airport. He rolls along the concrete field dragging behind him not only the cargo of the years he has lived, but emotional baggage. Well, banal trolleys with suitcases. In the next scene, he is going to eat chocolate balls with milk. Champions breakfast for dinner. His mother at the same time makes sandwiches for tomorrow's work shift. The next day brings another monotonous shift of loading and unloading luggage. Fusikov's free time, as befits a decent antisocial stay at home, is played in board war games. Building tank wedges according to history textbooks. Another scene finds the characters in a toy store. A brand new radio-controlled all-terrain vehicle is being purchased. The hero carries him home. On the way, a neighbor girl is interested in who he is carrying a toy for, but the guy has no answer. Opening the door, he finds his mother at an intimate affair. To avoid even more awkwardness, he leaves to test the machine on a snowy street. What the neighbor's girl finds him doing. After making sure that the boyfriend named Rolf is gone, the guy returns home in the evening while mom is doing her friend's hair. Fusi goes to visit Mordor, with whom he plays a wargame game. One of Mordor's sons wants to play with them, but dad forbids it. These toys are not for children. After the adults smoke schmall discussing the latest news. In particular, they were caught having a big aged fuck. The conversation turns to hypnotists capable of erasing shocking memories. The next morning, while clearing a light Scandinavian snowball, Fusi notices Rolf wandering around his table, touching the figurines without asking. He goes inside to ask not to do so and corrects the combat flanks of the plastic army. The man in response advises him to pay more attention to real life, rather than reconstructions of the glorious battles of the past. In particular, he recommends finding a girlfriend on the internet. At work, colleagues discuss Fusi behind their backs. They take away his headphones to ask a question about his personal life. He literally evades the answer. Then the annoyed bullies throw headphones in the back. In the next scene, the hero in the cafe makes an order from the series as usual. The waiter automatically removes the second appliances as unnecessary. After dinner, Fusi is sitting in the car on the riverbank listening to heavy rock on the radio that he ordered from a DJ. Fusi's birthday is coming. Homegrown stepfather hands him a cowboy hat and a certificate at a dance lesson, where the hero will be able to shake and meet new people. At work, Fusi is called by the boss to discuss a sensitive issue. Are his colleagues bullying him? Despite the outright hostility on their part, the hero does not betray anyone. Returning home, he finds a neighbor's girl on the stairs. She has lost her keys and cannot get home. The guy invites the child to his place to feed. After the milk pie, the girl plays with his collectible figurines and wargame models until her father returns. In the evening, the mother gathers Fusi to dance despite his reluctance to go there. Having reached the hall, the hero timidly enters inside, where the rest of the students have already gathered. After watching them having fun, Fusi turns around and leaves. He sits in the car and spends time listening to the radio and talking on the phone. While a light snowstorm is slowly going on outside the window. After waiting for the end of the dance, the guy notices a lonely girl coming out last. A girl named Sion walks up to his car through the snow, asks for a ride home. On the way, she tries to talk to him, but the timid Fusi, who does not have enough experience in social interaction, answers at random. He admits that he also had to go to the dance, but did not dare. A fellow traveler invites him to the next lesson, and he awkwardly agrees. In the afternoon, Fusi discusses tank models with Mordor. When Rolf is interested in how the classes went, the old man asks to show him what he has learned, but from his strange answers it becomes clear to adults that he did not go to any dances. After a hard day's work, his colleagues bully him again, forcibly dragging him into the shower to wash. Fusi is painting figurines when a neighbor girl rings the doorbell. She invites him to visit because she has no other friends in the neighborhood. They recently moved, though not immediately, but he agrees. The girl asks the hero why he doesn't have a wife. She believes that he is just shy, although her dad calls him crazy for the whole head, which the child tells Fusi with childlike spontaneity. Going to the dance in the evening, the hero promises his mother to bring a blowtorch from work. It is needed for cooking a French dessert. At his first lesson, Fuse not only diligently repeats the movement as the teacher tells him, but also stares at Shang. After classes, they go for a walk together. The hero invites the girl to his favorite cafe, where he visits every Friday. Then they go to his favorite place on the shore, where Fusi, using his friendship with the DJ, orders her favorite song on the radio. Shyly getting out of the car for a conversation. The song makes a favorable impression on the girl, although the guy himself is diligently shy. Finally, Cian invites him to tea, but he refuses, citing the fact that he does not drink this noble drink. After dropping off a friend and driving away, Fusi realizes that he has blunted a little. He comes back and rings the doorbell to drink milk. During a casual one-sided conversation, the girl asks where he works, telling along the way that he loves traveling. The hero answers alone, not being able to maintain friendly chatter. But he returns home smiling happily. Having brought the promised blowtorch from work, Fusi warms up the French dessert of his mother's friend in the kitchen. The woman discusses his recent late comeback, implying that he had a date. At work, one of the bully colleagues asks him to see what's wrong with the car while Fusic is picking under the hood. He apologizes for the trick in the shower and invites the hero to a party on Saturday. However, his remorse is caused rather by the fact that the boss asked uncomfortable questions. During a visit to a hobby friend, Fusi discusses a recent date with him. However, Mordor scares him by the fact that the dating period is the most terrible for a man, because it is necessary to constantly come up with something to surprise a girl. His words sink into the hero's soul. Fusi, knowing about her passion for travel, goes to a travel agency to fly abroad to a place where it is warm and sunny. Then he goes to the flower shop where Cian works. But she left there a long time ago. Fusi is waiting for a girl near the house. When she returns from work on a garbage truck, he rings the doorbell to talk. But the girl angrily slams the door in front of him. The guy presses the call button again to say that he doesn't care where she works. This melts the ice between them. Then Fusi invites her on a trip to Egypt. The girl is interested in whether he ordered one room or two different ones. Putting the dots over and there can be nothing between them. On Saturday, he goes with his colleagues to a party that starts with a paintball match, then they have a cultural booze in the apartment. Soon there is an invited stripper arranging a professional show. After the mandatory program, the guys pay the girl to sleep with Fusi, but the hero refuses and wants to leave. Then the others push him into the bedroom to undress, but he resists using the advantages in the mass. The hero easily throws the bullies, and finally hits the ringleader in the face. Having a hangover in the morning, he asks his mother to call work and take a sick leave. Going out into the fresh air, Fusi meets a neighbor girl who offers to play. He refuses, planning to take a car ride to the shore of the bay. Then she asks to ride with him to admire the harsh Scandinavian beauty. The girl does not evaluate and asks to go home, and the police are already waiting there, called by the girl's worried father. He immediately calls Fusi a pervert and forbids him to approach his daughter. The guards invite the hero to the department to explain the situation. An experienced employee asks the guy what exactly they are playing with the girl. When she comes to visit, without finding the corpus delicti, or malicious intent, he lets the good-natured fat man go. In the evening, Fusi, wearing a suit, goes to the dance. He's looking for Cian, but she hasn't come. After class, he drives to her house, where he does not decide to go in, watching from the car. The next day, Fusi drives a radio-controlled car around the yard. Local children run up to him and he allows the boy to drive himself, but when the child's mother notices that he is hanging around a fat man accused of pedophilia, she calls him home. Tormented by conflicting thoughts, Fusi returns to the house with Cian and breaks the glass gets inside. The apartment is a mess and chaos, and the girl herself is locked in the closet like Tom Cruise. She responds to an attempt to talk with a request to leave. The hero almost obeys, but the cat's plaintive meowing forces him to stay. After feeding the animal, Fusi remains in a chair in front of the TV with the pet on his stomach. In the morning, he wakes up on the sofa in the apartment with Cian and prepares breakfast, which he leaves in front of the closet door. Having cleaned up the apartment, Fuse is going to leave. Breakfast is still untouched. He shows up for work to take a few days off. Having received the go-ahead, the guy returns to Cian to change the broken glass. Fusi stays with the girl studying recipes and cooking according to them. In the process of trying to get the hostess to talk, the girl admits that she skipped work and is afraid that she will be fired. Then Fusi goes to the dump to talk to her boss. He offers to work shifts for her. The hero returns to his girlfriend, taking a huge bouquet along the way. He carefully opens the door, then picks up the girl sobbing with self-pity, comforting her that everything will be fine. Fuxi carefully washes Cian in the bathroom. He makes sure that she eats at least something, puts her to bed and covers her with a blanket. The hero sorts the garbage in the landfill instead of the girl. The other employees look at him askance. However, instead of bullying, they invite him to the pub after work to watch football. When Fusi returns home, he also finds his mother upset. Her boyfriend left her, hinting that her son deserves better than a depressed scavenger. A mother drips on her son's brain so that he leaves his girlfriend. During another visit to Sion, the hero finds her doing repairs to music. Fusi brings a friend who has come to her senses to a cafe. Riding around the city, they drive up to a former pastry shop that Sion has looked after for her own flower shop. Finishing the last shift, Fusi drinks with new colleagues, who, although they make fun of him, but completely without malice. When he returns to eat, she immediately jumps on top of him and drags him to bed. In the morning, Fusi wakes up in the same bed with a girl. They return to dance courses and for the first time, instead of a strict suit, he is dressed in a more appropriate outfit. He even has a cowboy hat on him. Sion suggests going on a previously planned tourist trip together, as well as going to a new level and moving in together to live together. But now Fuxi himself cannot leave his mother alone. The girl is upset by his not wanting to get out from under her mother's skirt and she leaves. Fuxi runs after her to say that he is ready to change his life. At home, he saws a table for a war game, collects toy figures in a box that he takes to a neighbor girl. She is not at home. Her father, having accepted the gifts, apologizes to him for his suspicions. Fusi, along with Mordor, carries piles of boxes of things to the apartment with Sion, who nervously walks back and forth. She's having another nervous breakdown. She thinks she's making a mistake by moving in with him. The guy has no choice but to transfer things back home. Upset in his personal feelings, he sits in the room among the boxes. Resentment does not let go. While having breakfast, Fusi looks out the window, where a blizzard is blowing. Snow completely covers the ground, reminding him how caring for Sion has overshadowed his unsociable introvert gut. At the airport, a guy looks at happy travelers flying to distant countries, or returning home with new emotions. He returns to the premises of the old pastry shop, where he and Mordor are making repairs. After finishing putting the store in a divine form, the hero leaves the key to it along with a note in Sion's mailbox. In the next scene, a truck with a trailer of luggage carts crawls across the concrete field of the airfield. But Fusi is watching him from above and from the landing corridor. He and the rest of the passengers are preparing to go on a trip to a foreign and distant country. The runway sweeps through the window, accelerating faster and faster. Fuxi stepped out of his comfort zone, broke the connection with the past and opened up to something new.